Here's Brody Brazil.
You know, I think the thing is with Shohei Ohtani, he's been so good for so long, and he is baseball's unicorn, that we've set the bar so high, sometimes we actually forget how good he is, and in this case, how good he's been in the last 6 months. Even before this baseball season even started, a lot of good things have come Shohei Ohtani's way, to the point where I think it's time to look at him and say, he's even better than you realize right now. And this is, again, on and off the field, and all that number 17 has been through recently. Let's begin with the end of last baseball season into the start of this year. I say he won free agency. This dude completely crushed free agency. And some out there will say, well, it's easy. He's the best player. He was the number one free agent. Any team would give him everything that he wanted. But I don't know that it was that simple. He was trying to get a certain dollar amount. He was also trying to join a certain suitor, like a team that would actually give him the chance to win, something he'd never done as a member of the Angels. I'm talking about winning record. I'm talking about just getting to a playoffs. So to find the right situation, the perfect situation, I think we can say he's all accomplished that. From a team perspective, he also geographically didn't even have to leave Southern California. I mean, how perfect is that? He could have kept his same home that he was living in while playing for the Angels, essentially, and still played for the Dodgers. And also this, and it's controversial and people won't like it, and people are somewhat opposed to it because they wish every team did this, or they think it's cheating the system, but he was willing and able, he was positioned to take money in a deferred fashion from the Dodgers. Again, how this happens and how the team can do this and avert maybe some luxury tax situation and how they can, load up right now and pay for it all later, I get it. That's not the point here. It's the fact that he was positioned to do that. He was willing to do that. Reportedly, all of this was his idea, and such that it allowed the Dodgers to go out and pursue guys like Yamamoto and other free agents to really load up on this team so that they weren't completely weighed down by Ohtani's contract. Again, this isn't just doing well in free agency and getting the long-term deal. This isn't just winning free agency. This is literally crushing free agency for Shohei Ohtani when you look back on it. He also endured the betting scandal. And let me just say this before anything else. The obvious part is that Ohtani was guilty of something. Being a little bit ignorant and trusting Ippei so much, or allowing somebody the access to your financials to the tune of millions of dollars over and over again, and to really have no idea about it. My point is, if we're going to talk about Ohtani here, there has to be some type of thing he would do differently in the future about a situation like this if it happened again. And yeah, the obvious is that I think he was a little bit ignorant in trusting somebody too much. But that was a lot of turmoil and drama to begin the 2024 season. They were overseas when it happened. And to have all this going on while he was just trying to set a good impression, the weight of his shoulders of that new contract and of making a first impression on his new team and teammates, all of that going on at pretty much the most inopportune time. He survived that. He also, personally lost what he may have thought was one of his best friends. Ippei was with him day and night, year after year. And so the bottom line is, from a personal standpoint, I know we're looking at this from afar, from the outside, and who was guilty, who did what, how could this happen? But for Ohtani on a personal level, his life dramatically changed. That somebody who he was around all the time, instantly, like flip of a switch, totally changed. And he also didn't let this situation linger. I realize it wasn't all in his control, but baseball and its partners and the U.S. government and Major League Baseball as a business, they did their investigations. But Ohtani didn't let this linger so long. Imagine if this were still going on. Does New Balance still have their endorsement with him? All the other companies that are partnered with Ohtani, can they hang through that? Would they hang through that? So he was able to get through this quickly and move on. And again, I'm personally pretty sure that this was not one of the easiest things he's ever been through. Also personally, and nobody even knew about this when it happened, but Ohtani got married in February of 2024. Everybody found out after the fact. I mean, you think about the paparazzi that would have found out about this wedding, where it was at, tried to get photos from every single angle. And not just because it's Shohei Ohtani, but also his bride, Momiko Tanaka, was a pro basketball player in Japan. So she carries a high profile going into all of this too. And to keep all of that secret, to make it a private event, just like he and they obviously wanted to happen, was an accomplishment. I mean, also this, let's step back and say, for any young man or woman, getting married is a big deal in their life. So Ohtani has gone through this in the last 6 months. I'm telling you, it has been win after win after win for Shohei Ohtani, and we're not even keeping track of all of them. We'll get to the baseball stuff in just a second because the bar is set so high. Mamiko is somebody he met a couple years ago. They kept this all under the radar, so that's an accomplishment. Getting married with the privacy they wanted was an accomplishment. Yeah, it's another thing that you don't necessarily consider at the forefront. Oh, yeah. He's also been doing all of this while still recovering from Tommy John surgery back in September of 2023. And for the traditional pitcher who doesn't hit and is not the superstar unicorn athlete, you know what they do? They just recover from TJ surgery for like a year and a half, and they don't play baseball, and it frustrates them, and it's unfortunate. But Shohei Ohtani is treading on because he can do so much. He's going through that recovery while doing all this. And at this rate, it begs the question, will he ever pitch again? I think that's the goal. I think that's what he's working back towards. I think that was part of the contract he signed. But what if he doesn't? I think the Dodgers, from a business and baseball perspective, would just take the bat. If the bat is going to continue doing this, what it's been doing, I'm here to say I would love to see him continue that. I would love to see him pitch again. I don't know how sensible it is. What if there's another elbow injury and then that takes him away from hitting? What's the risk and reward? I think that's something they'll have to evaluate down the road. But it is a consideration right now that he may never have to, or he may never pitch again. We just don't know. But the point being, he's having all of this success while recovering from Tommy John surgery. And what do I mean by all the success? Take a look at his offense in 2024 so far. Hitting .359. That's a lot of points above his career average, but he's capable of this. 13 dingers. And if you look at how many he's absolutely connected on, I think like 10 of them are considered no doubters by Baseball Savant, meaning that they would have been home runs in every single ballpark across the league. I mean, this dude is crushing baseballs. 39 runs scored, 13 stolen bases, 34 RBI, 428 on-base percentage, and 1,084 OPS. That's the crushing it part I was talking about. So the point here is that, yes, Ohtani's a great player. We've always known that. He's living up to extremely difficult expectations right now. He's been in the news for a lot of things that were interesting and questionable, but I think it's time that we let this soak in. Shohei Ohtani, as of right now, is better than you realize. Look at the cool signature right there, by the way, in Japanese. I found that image and I thought, you know what, that's something I want to include here. I would love to have a baseball sign, not just because it's Ohtani, but that's a very cool thing to have. So different, just like he is, so unique, just like he is. But that's why, again, I want to just add some perspective. A better last 6 months than you could realize for Shohei Ohtani. You made it here to the end of this video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. That'll help me and this video and this channel. And also, please subscribe. Consider that. If you've never seen me before, I'm glad you found me. But I'd love to see you back here next time. And the way to do that is to go down there and hit that subscribe button right now.